think so. Another lot not far behind.
Good evening, Fred.
Good evening, Mrs. Roger.
Is that the bed?
Yes.
Oh, we are ready. Did you remember everything?
I think so. Lemons, split soles, cream, eggs, tomatoes, and butter. That's all, wasn't it?
That's right. So much to do, I don't know where to start. No, it's tomorrow, and all these guests arriving today.
Calm down, Ethel. Everything's shipshape now. Looks nice, don't it, Fred?
Looks neat up for me. Can't bear. Birch folks like their places, it seems.
Rich folks are queer.
And he was a queer sort of gentleman who built this place. Spent a wicked lot of money on it. And he gets tired of it, puts the whole thing up for sale.
Beats me why the Owens want to buy it. Live on our island.
Come on, Fit, Ethel. And take those things out of the kitchen. They'll be here any minute now.
Yeah. I'll be getting along. There's 2 people arriving by car, I understand.
Remember, I want 5 loaves and 8 pence milk for me.
Right.
And don't forget the oil for the engine, Fred. I have to fill up tomorrow, the lights will go out.
So it's held up on the railway. It's at the station now. I'll bring it up first thing tomorrow.
And give an on the mortgage, will you?
Right.
I forgot to give you those guests, Tom.
Thank you, girl. Doesn't look a very classy lot to me. It's Clayton. Probably be the secretary.
Don't call them secretaries. Worse than hospital nurses. And then gives us airs and graces and look at down servants.
Don't be grousing, Ethel. You can't want that fancy up-to-date kitchen of yours.
Too many new colour fancy gags for my fancy.
So, this is it.
How perfectly lovely.
Miss Clayton?
You're Rogers.
Yes, miss.
Good evening, Rogers. Will you bring up my luggage and Captain Lombard's?
Of course, miss.
You've been here before?
No, but I've heard a lot about the place.
From Mr. and Mrs. Owen.
No, old Johnny Brewer, pal of mine, built this house. It's a sad and poignant story.
A love story.
Yes, ma'am, the saddest of all. He was a wealthy old boy, fell in love with the famous Lily Logan, married her, bought this island, and built this place for her.
Sounds most romantic.
Poor Johnny, he thought by cutting her off from the rest of the world, without even a telephone as means of communication, he could hold her.
But of course the fair Lily tired over Ivory's tower and escaped.
Uh-huh. Johnny went back to Wall Street, made a few more millions, and the place was sold.
And here we are. Well, I was going to find Mrs. Owen.
It would be very rude to leave me here by myself.
Would it? But I do wonder where she is.
She'll be along when she's ready. While we're waiting, could I have some tea? I'm very dry.
Of course you could.
It's certainly warm up here after that steep climb. Would you like some?
No, thank you. This is exciting.
What?
All this. The smell of the sea, the gulls, the beach, and this lovely, lovely house. I am going to enjoy myself.
I think you are. I think we both are. Here's to you. You're very lovely.
Where's Mrs. Owen?
Mrs. Owen won't be up until tomorrow, miss. I thought you knew.
Tomorrow, but...
I have a list of the guests expected, if you'd like to have it. The second boat also is arriving.
Thank you. How awful. Say, you'll be sweet and help me, won't you?
I won't move from your side.
It seems silly to have brought only us in the first boat and all the rest in the second.
That, I'm afraid, was design, not accident.
Design? Whatever do you mean?
Well, I suggested to the boatman that there was no need to wait for any more passengers. That and 5 shillings soon started at the engine.
You shouldn't have done that.
Well, they're not very exciting, are they?
I thought the young man was rather nice looking.
Callow. Definitely callow. Very, very young.
And I suppose that you would think a man in his 30s is more attractive.
I would think, my darling. I know.
Wizard place you got here.
I'm Mrs. Owen's secretary. Mrs. Owen's been detained in London, I'm afraid, and won't be down until tomorrow.
Too bad.
May I introduce Captain Lombard, Mr.
Marston. Anthony Marston.
Would you like some tea?
Yes, please.
Wonderful place you've got here.
I'm Mrs. Owen's secretary. Mrs. Owen has been detained in London, I'm afraid, and won't be down until tomorrow.
Would you like some tea, Mr.
Davis. Davis is the name.
Mr. Davis? Mr. Marston?
How are you, Mr. Marston? It's a pleasure to meet you. Bit of a stiff climb down here, but whew, what a view. What a height. Reminds me of South Africa, this place.
Does it? What part?
Oh, Natal. Durban, you know.
Really?
Do you, know South Africa?
Me? No.
That's where I came from. That's my Natal state.
Interesting country, I should think.
Finest country in the world, sir. Gold, silver, diamonds, oranges, anything a man could want. Talk about land flowing with beer and hills.
How do you do?
General Mackenzie, is it?
Yes.
I'm Mrs. Owen's secretary. Mrs. though he's been detained in London, I'm afraid, and won't be down until tomorrow. May I introduce Captain Lombard, Mr. Marston, and Mr.
Davis is the name.
Would you like some tea?
Yes, thank you. You in the service?
Formerly in the King's African Rifles. Too tame for me in peacetime. I chucked it.
Ah, what a pity.
Where's our hostess?
Thank
I'm my hostess' secretary. She's been detained in London, I'm afraid, and won't be down until tomorrow. Indeed, extraordinary. Did she miss the train? Oh, I expect so. Would you like something to drink? And may I introduce Captain Lombard, Mr. Marston, General Mackenzie. I think you met them all on the boat. And Mr.
Davis is the name. May I take your case?
Do let me give you a drink. Iced tea? Lemonade?
Yes, tea, thank you. As long as it's alcohol. I never touch alcohol.
You never touched alcohol?
I suppose you know, young man, that you left us standing there on the wharf. Oh, that's my fault, I'm afraid. I wanted to. It seems to me most extraordinary that a hostess should not be here to receive her guests. Perhaps she's the kind of person that just can't help missing trains.
That's what I reckon she is.
Not at all. She isn't the least like that.
Perhaps it was her husband's fault.
She hasn't got a husband. I should like to go to my room. Oh, of course, I'll take you there.
You'll find Mrs. Rogers upstairs, miss. She'll show you to your room.
I'm afraid our host and hostess haven't arrived, sir. My name's Lombard.
Mine's Warwick.
Would you like some tea?
Yes, please.
How are you? Davis is the name. I'd say it's a wonderful place you've got here. Quite unique.
As you say, quite unique.
Has old Badger Berkeley rolled up yet?
Who did you say?
Badger Berkeley. He told me he's going to be here. When's he coming?
I don't think he is coming. Nobody in the name of Berkeley.
That dirty double-crosser. He's let me down again. Well, it is a rather wizard island. And a rather wizard girl, that secretary. She ought to liven things up a bit. I say, old man, how about dressing to dinner if there's time?
Let's go and explore.
How wizard?
Things are a bit at 6s and 7s with the Owens not turning up.
Wizard place for a holiday.
Aren't you going to sit down?
Oh, well, to tell you the truth, it seems you're in my chair.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were one of the family.
No, it's not quite that. You see, I live at the Binton Club. I have for the last 10 years now, and, well, my seat's right about there, and I just can't get used to sitting anywhere else.
It becomes a bit of a habit.
Yes, that it does. Well, thank you. Thank you. It's a good chair. Not quite as good as the club's. To tell you the truth, I was surprised I got this invitation. I haven't had anything of the sort for well over 10 years now. Very nice of them, I thought.
May I, sir? May I have your coat? May I have your keys, sir?
Thank you. Can you tell me, is Lady Constance Comington expected here?
Lady Constance Comington? I don't think so, sir, unless she's arriving with Mr. and Mrs. Owen.
Oh.
May I, sir?
Oh, yes.
May I have your keys, sir?
Oh, no, thank you. I will unpack for myself.
Dinner is at 8 o'clock. May I show you to your room?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Here you are, Doctor. I'll call Rogers.
Thank you.
How are you? Davis is the name.
Mine's Armstrong.
Dr. Armstrong, I believe.
Yes.
Thought so. I'll never forget a face.
Don't tell me I've forgotten one of my patients.
Oh, no, nothing like that. It's just I saw you in court once giving expert evidence.
Oh, really? Are you interested in the law?
Well, you see, I'm from South Africa. Naturally, the legal processes of this country are bound to interest a colonial.
Ah, yes, of course.
Would you like some tea?
Oh, thank you.
I've been having a look around the island. It's a wonderful place, isn't it?
Wonderfully restful. Wonderful for the nerves. I'm a nerve specialist, you know.
Yes, I know. Did you come down by train?
No, I motored down. Dropped in on a patient on the way. Great improvement. Wonderful response.
Best part of 200 miles, isn't it? How long did it take you?
I didn't hurry. I never hurried. Some mannerless young fellow nearly drove me into the ditch near Amesbury. Shot past me at 80 miles an hour. Disgraceful bit of driving. I should like to have had his number.
Yes, and if only more people take the numbers of these young road hogs.
You must excuse me. I must have a word with Mr. Owen.
Oh, but Mr. Owen isn't coming down till...
You ready, sir?
Yes, take my hat, will you?
Yes, sir.
What time's supper?
Dinner is at 8 o'clock, sir, in a quarter of an hour. I think tonight's dressing will be optional.
Got a good place here?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Been here long?
No, sir. Just under a week.
Is that all? So I don't suppose you know much about the crowd that is here?
I'm afraid not, sir.
All old friends of the family?
I really couldn't say, sir.
Oh, well. Oh, Rogers.
Yes, sir?
Rogers, could you put some sandwiches and a bottle of beer in my room at night? I get a dreadful appetite with this sea air.
I'll see what I can do, sir.
Rogers, I'll see you won't lose by it. Where's my room?
I'll show it to you, sir.
Good. I can do it to wash and brush up straight away.
There you are, Rogers. Now give me a hand with dirty glasses. You always leave the dirty ones to me. Here I am, full course dinner on my hands, and no one to help me. Now give me a hand with the dishing up. Who was it you were talking to, by the way?
Davis, South African gentleman. No class if you ask me, and no money either.
Don't like him. Don't like any of them much. Well, like what you had in the boarding house, I'd say.
Davis gives off he's a millionaire. You see his underwear. As cheap as they make them.
Let's not treat us right. All these guests right today, no waste tomorrow. What do they think we are?
Now then. Anyway, the money's good.
So ought to be. Catch me down the stairs again if the money's good.
Well, it is good, so what are you going on about?
I'll tell you this, Rogers. Not staying any place where I'm put upon. Kitchen's my place. I'm a good cook.
First rate, old girl.
The kitchen's my place. And housework, none of my business. Oh, yes. A good mind with my hat and corn. Walking now straight back to Plymouth.
Can't do that.
Who said we can't? Why not? Like,
No.
Because you're on an island. Had you forgotten that?
yes, I don't know I fancy being on an island.
Don't know that I do either, come to think of it. No sitting down at the pub or going to the pictures. Well, it's double wages on account of the difficulties. And there's plenty of beer in the house.
That's all you ever think about. Beer.
Now then, stop your nagging. And go back into the kitchen, your dinner will be spoiled.
Be spoiled anyway. Everyone's going to be late. We wasted on them anyway. Thank goodness for this play. Oh, dinner will be in this. Just a matter of dishing up.
Is everything all right, Rogers? Can you manage between the two of you?
Oh, yes, thank you, miss. The missus talks a lot, but she gets the work done.
What a lovely evening.
Yes, indeed. The weather seems very settled.
How plainly one can hear the sea.
Doesn't sound.
How we have breath of wind and deliciously warm. Not like England at all.
I should have thought you might be a little uncomfortable in that dress.
Oh, no.
It's got a tight, isn't it?
I don't think so.
You'll excuse me, my dear, but you're a young girl and you've got your living to earn.
Yes.
A well-bred woman doesn't like a secretary to appear flashy. It looks, you know, as though you were trying to attract the attention of men.
And would you say that I do attract them?
That's beside the point. A girl who deliberately sets out to get the attention of men won't be likely to keep her job long.
Ah, surely that depends on who she's working for.
Really, Miss Claythorne?
Aren't you being a little unkind?
Young people nowadays behave in the most disgusting fashion.
Disgusting.
Yes, low-back evening dresses, lying half naked on beaches. All this so-called sunbathing, an excuse for immodest conduct and nothing more. Familiarity, Christian names, drinking cocktails. I look at the men nowadays, decadent. Look at that young master. What good is he? And that Captain Lombard.
Oh, what do you object to in Captain Lombard? I should say he's a man who's led a very interesting life.
The man's an adventurer. this younger generation are no good at all.
You don't like youth, I see.
What do you mean?
I was just remarking that you don't like young people.
And is there any reason why I should, pray?
No, but it seems to me that you must miss an awful lot.
You're very impertinent.
I'm sorry, but that's just what I think.
The will will never improve until we stamp out immodesty.
Quite pathological.
What did you say?
Nothing.
What about the old boy?
I think he looks rather like a tortoise, don't you?
All judges look like tortoises. They have that venomous way of docking their heads into doubt. Mr. Justice Walgrave is no exception.
I hadn't realized he was a judge.
Oh yes, he's probably been responsible for sending more innocent people to their deaths than anyone in England. Hello, you. You two know each other? Dr. Armstrong, Miss Claythorne. We've just decided that the old boy...
Oh, yes, I heard you, and I think he did too.
Oh, Sir Lawrence.
Miss Brent, isn't it?
Yes, there's something I want to ask you. Will you come out here?
Remarkably fine night.
An absolutely wizard car. The supercharged sports Barlita Carlotta. I can get over 100 out of her.
Did
don't
you
see
come
many-
from London?
Yes. 208 miles. And I did it a bit under 4 hours. Too many cars on the road, though. But it touched 90 going to a Salisbury plain. Not too bad, eh?
I think you passed me on the road.
Really?
You nearly drove me into the ditch.
But did I? I'm sorry.
If I'd had your number, I would have reported you.
But you were footling along the middle of the road.
Footling? Me? Footling?
Oh well, what about a nice drink?
Good idea. Will you have one, Miss Claythorne?
No, thank you.
Good evening, Mrs. Owen.
Why, Mrs. Owen?
You'd make the most attractive wife for any wealthy businessman.
Do you always flirt so outrageously?
Always.
Oh, well, now we know.
Tell me, what's old Miss Brent talking to the judge about? She tried to buttonhole him upstairs.
I don't know. It's funny. She seems so definite that there isn't a Mr. Owen.
You don't think that Mrs. Owen... I mean, that there isn't... Well, that
That they
aren't...
aren't married, you mean?
It's a shame we don't know each other. I could have given you a lift down.
Oh, yes, that would have been grand.
I'd like to show you what we can do over a Salisbury plain. Tell you what, maybe drive back together.
But I...
Seems silly, though. I've got an empty car.
Yes, but she likes the way she's going back.
Oh, look, aren't they sweet? Those 10 little China soldiers. And there's the old nursery rhyme.
What are you talking about? What figures? What nursery rhyme?
10 little soldier boys went out to dine. One choked on his little sup, and then there were 9. 9 little soldier boys sat up very late. One overslept himself, and then there were 8.
8 little soldier boys traveling in Devon.
Ladies and gentlemen, silence, please. You are charged with these indictments, that you did respectively and at diverse times commit the following. Dr. Armstrong, that you did cause the death of Louisa Mary Cleese. William Henry Bloor, that you brought about the death of James Stephen Linder. Emily Caroline Brent, that you were responsible for the death of Beatrice Taylor. Vera Elizabeth Claythorne, that you killed Peter Ogilvie Hamilton. Philip Lombard, that you were guilty of the deaths of 21 men, members of an East African tribe. John Gordon Mackenzie, that you sent your wife's lover, Arthur Richmond, to his death. Anthony James Marston, that you were guilty of the murder of John and Lucy Combs. Thomas Rogers and Ethel Rogers, that you brought about the death of Jennifer Brady. Lawrence John Wargrave, that you were guilty of the murder of Edward Seaton. Prisoners at the bar, have you anything to say in your defense?